Connecting with deceased loved ones and missing persons. Hello, my name is Heidi, and this is Andreas with Hyperspace Connection.
This video has different segments. I'm going to explain the different segments that we're going to discuss that subject so that you know what's coming. First segment will be how you can connect with your deceased loved ones and how we are offering this service. The second one will be why this work cannot be done by everyone, but why we are able to do that. The third one is how does it work, the work to connect with deceased loved ones. Then the fourth one will be who can we connect with and to whom can we not connect. Last, how can you book a session with us? Okay, first, explain, Heidi, how we and you with us can connect to deceased loved ones or missing persons.
Okay. Well, throughout the process, Andreas and I work as a team, and he puts me into trance. In the trance, we're able to actually connect with deceased loved ones or missing persons. So this happens quite a bit. It just kind of happens and develops even more and more. And now we feel that the work is extremely important in helping people here and ones that have passed on.
Explain to our audience how we can offer, what do we offer exactly in that service?
So let's say you've had someone in your family, in your life that's been missing for a while. You would contact us, and we'll explain that later on how to do that. And from that process, we would get a picture, if you have the picture, and then I would do some meditation before we go into the session. Into the session, we do what's called remote viewing. So, and this happens a lot with missing people. So there might be symbols, there might be pictures. A lot of times the pictures does not mean that this is where the person might be. It could be a symbol. And that person that contacted us looking for that person might understand what that symbol means.
Exactly.
So we were very cautious on that, on how that's presented throughout the process and being in trance as well. And also you might have a loved one that's passed on and you've been wanting to contact them.
Or they want to contact you.
Yes.
The other way around.
Yes.
Because they have unfinished business or they want to just relay some information to you. Exactly. So it's both ways. Let's go to the second segment. Why this work cannot be done by everyone and why we are able to do this.
Well, basically we're just not two people off the street and decided one day we're going to do this work. We have been through many experiences in our lives, and Andreas and I have a mission together and found out this is basically how it's manifested. So we've done a lot of work, a lot of learning, a lot of inner work as well.
A lot of classes.
Lots of classes to understand, and there has to be a trust between both of us when we do this type of work, because it does take a lot of energy, and time, and there has to be trust, understanding, and connection. So we just wanted to inform how important that is, as people probably are watching this and thinking, who are these two people sitting here on a couch? I'm going to go a little bit into probably looking at me of how is she able to do this, okay? First of all, there has to be a lot of clearing, okay? My mind needs to be cleared completely centered. Otherwise, it's very hard to get to the information. So throughout my life, I've had things happen with me, and I'm not going to go into that. It's a whole story where I had heart problems when I was younger and started having heart attacks and went to the other side and felt that energy there. And from there, after experiencing that, my life changed. However, I suppressed it many years. Didn't think it was something that I needed to be doing. But now it's been manifesting more with both you and I, and find that this is our work. It's a spiritual thing in many ways.
Yes.
Being connected with spirit. Spirit comes in, and sometimes if I feel that this is not to be told, the information, then there are times when I'm not able to speak about certain things, but can feel. But most of the time, the information will come through.
Yeah. And I think an important part is for future clients that information that comes through is like in other sessions, if it's circuit sessions or hypnosis sessions, it could be the real thing or it could be symbolic. Okay, but behind is always information that usually resonates to the client itself. That doesn't mean that information that we receive in the session is obvious for us, but for the client.
Yes.
That's an important part to see. Sometimes it's more challenging to get information. Sometimes it's flowing. It's very
Sometimes,
different.
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I could see numbers, a street, a sign, a painting, and sometimes it's not even there. So you just never know what you'll get.
Yeah. And in regard to missing persons, we would not know if that person is still alive or not, and the information that comes through could help maybe find that person, but maybe as well it can't. So we are not like, okay, you have a session with us and then we're going to find this person, so we can give clues. And yeah.
Well, and that's, I don't know if this is in the next segment or not, but that's about having expectations. So if spirit doesn't want to come forward, the spirit will not. Okay, and you need to come with an open mind, open heart, and there are times when there might not be some information that will come through. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna pay for that service and then it's gonna happen. But you will see later. We explain you how you can book and the implications there. Okay, wonderful. In this next segment, we will talk about how does it work. We already touched a little bit on that, but let's talk about that. How does it work, Heidi?
Well, basically, you help put me into trance, and I go through a certain ritual within me to help protect and guide. And what will happen, a lot of times in the beginning of the session, things will start popping up. Let's say it's a missing person, okay? I might see something round and it's moving, but I don't want to analyze it. And this is what they call castle building. So we really have to be careful when calling something a name.
Yeah, so that's actually my job, to guide you through and not to analyze things, to get to more detailed information as possible.
Absolutely, because something round that turns around and round and round, that can be many different things. We're very careful with that. So that might happen through some of the session. The spirit might come forward and might say things, or that's related to the person that's contacted us. Or it might be related to somebody that's related to them, and then they don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
And they go home and tell this person, and this person knows exactly what they're talking about. You just never know what comes through.
Okay, so it's basically as well close to the circuits telepathic sessions, so you may want to watch those videos about the telepathic circuit sessions. It's very close to that. I put her in trance, I guide her to a certain place, and then we start doing the work that is needed to connect with that person or the soul and get information out there. Yeah, that's basically it, isn't it?
Yes.
Very good.
And these sessions, there's no, it can be a short session, it can be a longer, there's really not a set time on how long they will be. Exactly. Just whatever comes through. Oh, another thing too is to keep in mind that if you are working with the police or in the community and you want us to be involved, it's really important that we are involved with the police first, and we'll go with them to see what's going on, because then it becomes this big.
So you need to inform them basically that you might want to work with us.
And they would contact us.
And so on. Exactly. Okay, that was the segment about how it works. And let's see what's in the next segment. Okay, in this segment we're going to talk about who can we connect or not. Again, we already touched a few things there, but just to make it clear and clarify, who can we connect and to whom can't we?
Okay. Well, again, it's up to spirit on what it wants, or if it's even going to bring out the information. So it's not, you can connect with animals. Animals might come in as well. Children, animals. So it just, you never know, what's going to happen in these sessions. And again, it's out of our control. So we come in doing the session with open hearts and allow the energies to be aware of that when we're in the session too, so that they feel safe and know that we're relaying the information to the loved one as well.
The important part here is to understand more the technical part. You have to see a deceased person. They can be on different levels, okay? Some of them are still around us, basically in that between world. To connect to them is, you can say, quite easy. But then there are others that already moved on. And if you maybe want to have a session with us because you want to connect to whoever you want, that person maybe has been moved on already to a level that they are either not able to communicate or they don't have any interest anymore. So that's another reason that we may not connect to that person, because it's just not available anymore. That's another reason to understand.
And everything's on an energy level. So, for some it might take a lot of energy, depending on where they're at. Yeah. And their soul and energy is to actually connect.
It's almost like tuning into a radio station. Okay, there are a radio station where we have very close frequencies to tune in, so it's easy to tune in, and others are further away or complete all the bandwidth. So you can turn around you want and you're not going to hear anything. Okay, it's like a good comparison. Very good. Okay, we're going to explain in the next and last segment how you can book a session and some information that are important for you to know. How can they book a session? It's quite similar to the surrogate session, but just explain our audience.
You just go on Hyperspace Connection, click on the information. I think it's connecting to deceased loved ones and missing persons. Click on there, they'll have some information, and then there'll be a button where you can book a session on there. And from there, you can ask some questions through the emails. And then we start the process and we schedule a time to get together, because many people are all over the world. So this does not have to be in person. It can be through Skype or other ways of connecting as well.
Exactly. There was something I would like to add. You can book a session with us, and if it works, then we will be successful for whatever information comes through. But if we see either before we start the session or within the session that there is no connection or no information flow, that will as well impact the costs. Okay, so you're not going to pay full for a session that we actually could not connect with because we don't know. Well then, we wish you a beautiful day and
see you on our next video.
Exactly.